What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see above my head, I wanted to talk about Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. Now, I know we got news on this Intergrade remake and First Soldier, but I'm worried about those other two. This is the interesting one. And what makes it so interesting is that when it was first shown off, everybody went crazy because for the purists, this is what they wanted remake to be. 2020 version of Final Fantasy VII. No story changes, no gameplay changes, maybe quality of life stuff, but like, leave my game alone. Just make it pretty. And this is basically what this is, or that's what it looked like. But once we saw what the platform it was for, all that changed out the window. This instantly became a cash grab, gacha garbage, all that stuff. So a lot of you might have already figured out when this was announced for mobile, and I reached this conclusion too, is that this game was going to be monetized in some kind of way. Of course, they want to take their biggest IP and introduce it to that market. That just kind of makes sense from a business perspective. Though I was hoping that it would be just a $14.99, $19.99, pay once, get everything situation. It doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. The more so they're going to monetize the weapon system in this game. So honestly, I'd rather they monetize that than stages or characters or anything like that, because like obviously the characters are the draw and the story the draw. So the two big things that are going to bring you into this game are just given to you. Well, one of them, I don't know about characters. What I can say is that in Final Fantasy VII Record Keeper, which has weapon gacha, which is why I downloaded it, the way it works in that game with characters is that as you complete stages, you unlock the characters as rewards. So you start off in Final Fantasy VII, you unlock Cloud and Tifa, then you can branch off into like Final Fantasy IV, Final Fantasy XI, Final Fantasy Tactics, stuff like that. And then from there, the weapon gacha becomes a bigger thing, because what I think they're gonna do with that is this. Nomura said that there's going to be costumes that you get when you complete weapon sets. What I think is going to happen with those sets or costumes is that since there's a limited amount of characters, those costumes are going to be what changes the character role. For example, you have Cloud, Advent Children Cloud, Remake Cloud, OG7 Cloud. The three different costumes. One's DPS, one's tank, one is support. I think that's going to be the way they stretch this out, for having as many things to collect as possible with the limited amount of characters that they have. Another mode they announced that's really, in my opinion, is a gacha game mode, is the ability to have dream battle. He called them dream battles with your dream teams. And the example they showed in the trailer was Aerith and the Scorpion Guard fight during bombing mission. So what I think that's gonna be is that, oh, and spoilers if you didn't know that Aerith wasn't in your party at that point, I'm sorry. But what I think it is like every week there's gonna be a boss dungeon. And then the nature of the game, I think, is going to allow you to put whatever characters you want in a party. And another thing he said they're going to do with this game, which really drives home the Brave Exvius weekly update gacha game, is that they're going to tell new stories within Final Fantasy VII's universe. The first of which is the story of First Soldier, which shows how Soldier was founded. It takes place 30 years before the events of Final Fantasy VII. So that gives them the ability to introduce new characters. Those are just my thoughts about whatever Crisis is gonna be. Ever since they announced the game, and even when the Famitsu interview was translated and it showed what Nomura and the development team had in mind for the game, I just knew that the only road for it to go down was to be that Brave Exvius, Brave Frontier type of game. Personally, I'd rather it not be that. I'd rather it be a normal $19.99 affair, pay for it, get my game, go about my business. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate you guys listening. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you like the content, please subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. And I'll be back with more JRPG content for you guys. Peace.